If you go to a guitar store and ask for a bass pick recommendation, you'll often get a thick boy like this. This is a 2mm bass pick, and they're super uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable, I kind of gave up playing bass guitar with a pick, and then ultimately I ended up stopped playing bass altogether. I used MIDI bass for my music. It wasn't until a couple years later when I decided to play with a thin guitar pick that everything changed for me. Using a thin pick on bass guitar makes playing bass a lot easier and a lot more comfortable. In particular, I'm using a 0.50mm pick, and it just bends to my playing. It's way less fatiguing, especially on faster parts. You really start to feel the difference when you're doing alternate picking. Those upstrokes are just so much easier to hit and a lot more comfortable. I've always felt like thicker picks, those upstrokes would kind of get like stuck and snagged from the thicker pick. And with this thin pick, I don't have that issue. It's so much easier. It's not fighting you like it feels like with a thick pick. It curves to your playing. The other benefit is how it helps control dynamics. Each pick stroke sounds a lot more consistent and in turn makes your playing sound a lot more consistent. This really matters a lot. There's so much character to a bass guitar besides the bass frequencies. You've got those mid-range frequencies that can really fill in the gaps with your guitar. They can add a lot to your overall sound of your mix, whether that be live or in studio. And you've got those upper mids, just the clarity you can get from that, and then the kind of texture you get from the string clank if that's your sound and you got your action low. There's a lot that a bass guitar offers more than just low end. When you don't have consistent playing or not as consistent playing, all those things I mentioned, the mids, the texture from the pick scrapes and the clank, a lot of that just like kind of comes in and out, and it's not a great sound. Your bass isn't cutting through as well as it could be. Now, I'm not going to say you can't use things like compressors and other dynamics control to kind of smooth that out, or I'm not even saying you can't be consistent with a thick pick. I'm just saying it's going to be a lot harder. Now, if I had to, I could play it with a thick pick like this. It's just not going to be the most comfortable. I'm struggling to get consistency out of that thick pick. With a thin one, it's a lot easier. My playing's a little rusty, but I can play that riff all day with a thin pick. It's way less fatiguing. If you're a bassist who uses picks and you haven't tried a thin pick before, I encourage you to give it a shot. If you got a local guitar store, you can probably buy individual picks. What I'm using in particular is 0.50, like I said before. I wouldn't go any lower than that. I would try some at this level and a little bit thicker and kind of see what makes the most sense for you. As always, comments down below are very much appreciated. Let me know if you're going to try a thin pick or if you've already tried one before. I know for me, the combination of a thin pick and lighter string gauges has really elevated my bass playing and even just the tone in general. Thank you so much for watching, and I do hope to see you in the next video.